Living a healthy, balanced life is no small feat, especially when you're a mom. With meals to cook, laundry to load, work to do, and humans to raise, it can be easy to feel like we're in an on-again, off-again relationship with healthy living. But it doesn't have to feel this way. I believe living a healthy life has become way too complicated. What we need isn't a new plan or program telling us what to eat or how to live. We need simple, uncomplicated routines and information that's going to help us live our best, most beautiful life without rules and restrictions. Join me, Kristin Dovbniak, holistic health coach, certified intuitive eating counselor, and mama of two, for weekly conversations on what it means to live a healthy, balanced life, uncomplicate eating, and simplify in every area of mom life. It's that time of the year when it feels like everyone we know is on a diet. And it's normal to feel like you want to go along with the crowd. Because as humans, we're herd animals. We want to do what everyone else is doing because it feels like that is right. Even though we know that dieting is proven to not last. Dieters themselves can be convincing too, and it's really easy to get sucked into the feeling that we get when we start a diet by hearing other people rave about the diet that they're on. But like I said, we know that long-term change doesn't come from quick fixes. So today I want to talk about what to do if you feel like all your friends are on a diet and you might be a little bit tempted to go on a diet even though you're just trying to live your balanced mama life. The first thing I want to recommend is a practice that we teach in the Supermama Society, and that is defining your why. It means taking a step back and getting to the root of why you want to approach eating from a place of balance and creating a vision of what an ideal relationship with food would look like for you. What does it look like to be in a place where you're at peace with food, where you have freedom with your food, and you're also nourishing yourself really well, and you feel good? You're not stressed around food anymore. You're not feeling guilt and shame around your food choices, but you have energy. You feel like you're serving your family well, and life's just going good, and food is just not a big deal anymore. What does that look like? And why is it that you want to get to that place? When we operate from this place of really honing in on our why and really creating that vision, we can focus on creating long-term habits to live our healthiest life, not quick fixes that we know might give us results in the short term, but likely won't last. In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear points out that real change comes from repeating habits over and over to get results. But this isn't actually how we're wired. We are wired to desire quick results. And this is what dieting gives to us. So when we can stay connected to our why and our bigger vision, we can maintain focus on creating the habits that are going to help us find lifelong balance rather than those short-term results that aren't going to last. It can also be really helpful to reflect on your dieting past and recognize where dieting gave you those quick results, that quick boost and fizzled out, and how it felt when they fizzled out. It's easy to try and convince ourselves or let others try and convince us that this diet's going to be the thing that's going to last, but we know the only thing that truly lasts is creating habits for balance. Focusing on the long-term feeling good rather than the short-term high of dieting is what can help us to refocus to moving towards a place of balance. The second thing I want to recommend is if you do have good friends in your circle who are dieting and it's just getting uncomfortable because you know that you're on this journey to balanced eating and you don't want to participate in the dieting with them, especially if you might have dieted with them in the past, find other activities to do or conversations to have with them when they're dieting if it feels triggering. I read an article years back that compared our ability to create boundaries around letting negative thoughts in as being like a brick instead of a sponge. You don't need to absorb everything that comes in. You are not a sponge. So what do you do if you feel like you're caught up in diet talk? There's a few things that you can do if you're feeling like you are in the conversation that you don't want to be in to gently shift the conversation to something that is more comfortable for you and that's going to help you to realign with your goals to live a balanced life instead of continue on the on-again, off-again diet cycle. The number one thing that you can do is simply to change the subject. So if you're on a walk with your friend and she's talking about the latest diet she's on and she's telling you how much weight she lost, and you're starting to feel like, oh, if only I went on a diet, I could also lose 5 pounds. First of all, remind yourself that we are all different and that your body will find the size that is right for her as you work on becoming a balanced eater. And then change the subject. So after you've given yourself that little inside your head mental pep talk, change the subject. It's okay to just kind of let the sentence end and then just continue on with something else. Hey, have you read the latest Reese's Book Club book? Or how is your son doing with guitar lessons? Totally change the subject. You don't need to engage with it at all. If you do want to respond, you can respond with neutral language. This is advice I love to give when we're talking about diet talk over the holidays or at events, because it oftentimes happens when we are like at a food table and other people are feeling guilty and judgmental of themselves over their food choices, and they like to project that on us. Maybe not necessarily saying that we need to change our food choices, but they'll say something like, oh, I saved up all day for this, or today's my cheat day, but I'll be back on my diet tomorrow. And they say things like that, and it's a little bit of a like, hey, let's talk about it. Can you help to inspire me or convince me to either eat this or not to eat this? We oftentimes look for other people for validation. So when somebody is looking for you for validation, you can just respond with really neutral language. Oh my goodness, this looks delicious. I am so happy to be enjoying these foods. Whether you're at a restaurant or you are at their house for dinner, it's okay to just respond with neutral language. So you're kind of halting the conversation where it is, and you're not continuing down the diet path. You're still responding to them, but you are gently letting them know that that's not a subject that you want to continue to talk about. It can also be helpful to provide a subject change after you respond with that neutral language, because some people who are seeking that validation do want to go back to the conversation. So if you say something like, I've been really looking forward to this meal, and they go, I know, I'm so bad, I'm going to eat so much. You can, at that point, just change the subject and continue to talk about something else. And if they persist, then it is totally okay to just remove yourself from the conversation. You are allowed to protect yourself and protect your boundaries. It is up to you to decide what you let in. We can't control others, but we can decide what conversations we'll engage in and if it will help us to be a more balanced version of ourselves. When I talk about boundaries, some people get uncomfortable because they feel like boundaries are creating a divider between themselves and other people. But I like to think of boundaries as just bumpers that bring us back into balance. So if we are having a conversation and it starts to get uncomfortable, we set that boundary, we change the subject, we talk about something else, and we bring it back to a place where you are in a good place in the conversation. Bumpers, not barriers. Also know that in any of these conversations, you don't need to defend your food choices. You can say something as simple as, that's great for you, but that doesn't feel good for me. You can own your food choices, so set those boundaries if you need to. The only one that's going to look out for you is you. So own your food choices and take care of yourself, not just your physical health, but your mental health, and that is what boundaries do. Balanced eating is a way of life. You are going to encounter dieters your whole life. So your best bet is to just learn how to stay in your own lane and focus on the practices that are helping you to become your best, most balanced self. And the third thing that I want to recommend is being a part of a community. Being a part of a community is invaluable. Dieting can feel like a way to connect to others, and not dieting is somewhat countercultural. It's very normal to go on a diet, especially in the new year. Real habit change that requires work and intention and connecting to your body through intuitive eating and becoming a balanced eater is much less common. So having a community of other women who are also sick of dieting and want to create real balance in their lives is a gift. It's something that I wish I had had when I was ditching diets for good, and so I created it, and I want to invite you in it. The Supermama Society is the only balanced eating group coaching membership that is designed by and for busy moms. The Supermama Society is for you if you are ready to own your balance with the tools, trained coaches, and a community of like-minded women by your side to help you get there. Studies prove that accountability is key to our success, and the Supermama Society will give you the tools and the support you need to reach your goals of living a healthy, balanced mama life and feel like the supermama I know you are. You'll get access to 2 complete self-paced courses to guide you through the exact steps you need to become an intuitive, balanced eater, monthly live group coaching calls for support, advice, and encouragement, monthly Q&As to make sure you get all of your questions answered, access to discounted one-on-one coaching sessions, as well as an exclusive resource library with recipes, meal ideas, worksheets, and more, plus expert-led, member-only workshops held throughout the year. The Supermama Society has everything you need to embrace your happiest, healthiest, most balanced life. And most importantly, it has the community to support you within it. Even better, the Supermama Society is intentionally designed to be affordable. I want balanced eating to be available to everyone. So you can choose a one-time fee for lifetime access, or you can choose monthly payments. To learn more and join us, head to supermamasociety.com. I hope these tips were helpful for you today, friend. I know that it can feel like the Wild West out there when you've decided that you are no longer dieting, and it feels like everyone around you is. But trust that the decision to move towards balance and to tune into your body and to create the actual habits that you need to create health and wellness, not just in 2021, but in the future as well, is worth so much more than that quick fix that'll make you feel good for just a little while. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Healthy Balanced Mama podcast. If you loved it, would you take a screenshot and share it with a friend over on Instagram and tag me in it? It helps me so much to know what you love and are taking away from each episode. If you really loved it, would you hop over to iTunes and give me a star rating and review? Every rating and review helps this podcast be seen and heard by more women who need to hear the message of balance and wellness without deprivation. It's the best free gift you could give me. And as a reminder, the information and opinions on this podcast are meant for education and inspiration only and are not to be taken as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult with a trusted practitioner before making any changes. Have a beautiful day, friend, and I'll see you in the next episode.